Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying this video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. Really helps the videos out more than you know. And if you are new here to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. We're starting here talking about the Callisto Protocol and how apparently it is falling short of expected sales figures. This is reading from Push Square. They say the Callisto Protocol, developed by Striking Distance Studios, has reportedly failed to meet sales expectations, a state of affairs which has affected the share price of publisher and parent company Krafton as a result. According to Korean website MK Odyssey, the Callisto Protocol cost around 200 billion won, or $162 million, to develop over the course of 3 years, a figure which sales have failed to recoup. During development, Krafton claimed that the Callisto Protocol would be a, quote, quadruple A, end quote, developed title, implying a level of quality beyond the boilerplate and bog standard AAA budget. It's worth noting that apparently they were hoping to sell 5 million copies of the Callisto Protocol, which is a very high amount, I would say, for a game like this. And they're making it known that they're not going to even hit 2 million copies sold until sometime this year. So, yeah, it's not looking good for the Callisto Protocol, unfortunately. And I would say that I'm surprised, but I'm kind of not, because I feel like, first of all, the game has some shortcomings, but I think it was definitely not good for the game that they decided to hold back reviews until the day it launched. I think that that only serves to hurt a game. A lot of people who were maybe considering getting it are just going to hold off at that point and wait to see, how the game reviews. But I also want to say that I feel like Krafton's expectations here were too high, to be honest. The survival horror genre is not a genre that has known to kind of do massive sales numbers. So 5 million copies, yeah, that's a lot. So figured I would just let you guys know about this. Let me know your thoughts on it. Next up, we're talking about Forspoken. Apparently the trophy list for this game looks easy but time consuming. That's according to PlayStation Lifestyle, where they say Forspoken's trophy list is out well ahead of the game's release, revealing a platinum hunt that will be a healthy mix of collectibles, world exploration, side quests, and main quests. There are no difficulty-related trophies, but the list does look fairly time-consuming. So I'm not going to go over every trophy here, of course, but this article will be linked down below so you can check it out for yourself. But I think the main thing here that people would want to know is, are there any difficulty-related trophies? The answer to that is no. But continuing to talk about Forspoken, apparently the PS5 demo is going to be updated, maybe. This is reading from Push Square. They say a now deleted Twitter post has revealed the PS5 demo for Forspoken will soon be updated with new features and fixes for bugs and glitches. Caught by reset error, the patch will apparently include button mapping functionality, tweaks to the lock-on system, adjustment to text size, and then fixes for various technical issues. It's claimed the update will go live on PS5 later today, so I think that this was actually yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And so I don't know why the tweet was deleted. I'm assuming that this is still happening. Maybe they just misspelled something, I don't know. But I mean, them coming out and fixing the demo, it seems like a good idea in my opinion, because we are very, very close to launch, and I think that there might be a group of people who are like, look, I played the demo, I didn't really enjoy it for these specific reasons. Maybe now that they're going to offer an update, those people will go back, play it, and it'll be enough to sell them on the game. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how Forspoken does. I feel like there's not a whole lot of excitement or hype for it, unfortunately. And we're going to see how it reviews. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Moving on from that, we're talking about The Last of Us HBO and how it's done numbers-wise. So this is reading from PlayStation Universe, where it says The Last of Us HBO's first episode has got off to a great start with 4.7 million viewers recorded and giving the network its second biggest debut since Boardwalk Empire back in 2010. For the record, the only show that managed to beat The Last of Us was House of Dragon, which drummed up 9.9 million viewers. So Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, the producers of The Last of Us HBO, issued the following statement on the good news. Our focus was simply to make the best possible adaptation of this beloved story for as big an audience as we could. We are overjoyed to see how many fans, both old and new, have welcomed The Last of Us into their homes and their hearts. So yeah, this is a really good sign for The Last of Us HBO. You know, these are numbers that I'm sure both HBO and Naughty Dog, as well as PlayStation Productions, are very, very happy with. So we'll have to see, you know, if it can like maintain these numbers, if they drop off dramatically, or if they actually continue to grow. But all in all, a very good sign for The Last of Us HBO. Moving on from that, we have some topics regarding Hogwarts Legacy coming from PlayStation Universe. Hogwarts Legacy is not out until February, but retail giant Amazon has revealed the upcoming fantasy RPG is already its best-selling game on PS5 at the time of writing. This is quite impressive considering Dead Space Remake is just around the corner, although EA Motive's survival horror title is currently ranking in second place. Beyond PS5, Hogwarts Legacy is the second best-selling Xbox Series game behind Call of Duty. I don't know if maybe that's changed since the time this was written up. And on Steam, we saw recently that Harry Potter was the #1 selling game. So I wanted to just kind of point this out because we did cover how this game was ranking on Steam charts, but now it's doing, you know, similar numbers or better numbers even potentially for Amazon. And you have to imagine that, you know, pre-orders on the PlayStation Network as well as other digital storefronts are looking really good. So all in all, we're going to see a massive debut for Hogwarts Legacy. Now, we have another story here that lets us know how long it's going to take to complete this game. Apparently, if you are somebody who is interested in completing this game 100%, it's going to take you up to 70 hours potentially. From PlayStation Lifestyle, Hogwarts Legacy's length has reportedly been revealed. A massive leak hit the internet last night, revealing the game's map, locations, and how long it takes to beat. Much of the information has apparently been extracted from Hogwarts Legacy's art book. According to the leak, Hogwarts Legacy will take roughly 35 hours to complete on average, and a completionist run with side quests will take about 70 hours. Of course, the actual playtime will vary and depends on play style, but Hogwarts Legacy seems to be a pretty big game regardless. As for the types of content it pertains to, the leak reveals that there will be nearly 100 of Merlin's puzzles in the game, for example. Not only can players solve these puzzles in a variety of ways, they can also utilize almost all of the magic they get to learn. There's no word on how many side quests there are, except that there's apparently a lot. At least 3 of the side missions need to be completed as part of the story, and apparently there is a spell that can only be learned via a side quest that doesn't unlock until you complete the main story. So yeah, I wanted to just give you guys this update on Hogwarts Legacy. Let me know if you're planning on playing this game, how you're feeling about the completion time here. Are you planning to just play the main story, or are you planning to try to do everything in this game? Let me know. Now, the next set of topics talks about Silent Hill 2 Remake. There was an extensive interview that was conducted with IGN. We have the original composer, Akira Yamaoka, the concept artist, Masahiro Ito, as well as Silent Hill's producer, Motoi Akamoto, giving us some insight into this game. So I'm going to run through all of these different quotes because I think we're getting some pretty good information here. First of all, we're hearing why the second game is being remade instead of the first game. Quote, "When we thought about what Silent Hill's identity is, we came to the conclusion that it's the true psychological horror of this series. And when you ask people what true psychological horror is, just about everyone will tell you Silent Hill 2. We decided that if the brand's identity is true psychological horror, we needed to start by remaking Silent Hill 2. There were, of course, some people inside the company who thought it would be better to start with one, but I wanted to start with this project with something that symbolizes the identity," end quote. So that was actually the producer who said that. Next up, we're hearing about how the enemy AI is being fully overhauled to improve the combat and to overall try to make it a more interesting experience. We have Masahiro Ito saying, "First off, we're improving the combat design, something that received a lot of feedback in the original. Doing so would be difficult without changing the way the monsters move and act, so we tried to respect the original designs while adding combat that's fun and new to the remake as we improve a number of enemies. Then we have the producer saying we're remaking enemy AI from the ground up to be designed in a way that will allow players to enjoy the combat. Bloober Team's love of the original is strong, so they're not going to simply add new enemies. They're looking at the fine details that can help make combat fun, though, which means changing AI or small design elements. It might look the same, but it's different when you look closely. They really did a good job all throughout the game. And then Masahiro Ito closes this by saying, I think that the Silent Hill 2 remake has ended up as a more interesting experience than the original. But continuing with other questions being answered here, or insight being given, apparently Silent Hill 2 remake uses performance capture, and James Sunderland has actually been made slightly older than his original incarnation. So this is the producer saying, quote, yes, we're using performance capture to record the actors' bodies, facial expressions, and voices all at the same time, incorporating their raw expressions and performance into the game. This has made possible a level of detailed emotional expression that wasn't possible when making the original. Though the trailer does go out of its way to feature many bombastic scenes, the game as a whole is also full of moments with more subtle performances. After speaking with Mr. Ito, we decided to raise James' age a bit in the game. This is in part because fans from 20 years ago are also older now, and because the average age of people who play video games has risen too. We want to depict a James who is more mature and has had to suffer through more in his life, and to do that we raised his age, though only by a bit. If you look closely, he looks older to you. It's not, or if you look closely and he looks older to you, it's not just your imagination. So I thought that this was actually a really important thing to be said, because that's the thing. A lot of people were acknowledging how many of the scenes that were shown in the trailer showed, you know, incredible, I think, but also in very intense, and as they put, bombastic emotional expression. A lot of people were afraid that maybe this was going to take away a lot of the subtle nuance that Silent Hill 2 is known for, but they make it clear, no, that's still there. They just really, I think, wanted to show off the new tech that they're leveraging in the remake. And I think it's very interesting that they're actually making James older. I actually think this makes a lot of sense, and I think that the game will actually, you know, be better for this. But the final thing here is the producer of Silent Hill making it clear that they're looking into doing more Silent Hill projects with different indie devs. So he says here, there's only so much we can do ourselves, which means we need to work with lots of different indie creators if we want to make lots of different Silent Hills. That's why we made moves to work together with people around the world who want to make Silent Hill games, and approached Bloober Team as well as Annapurna Interactive and No Code. Unfortunately, there are some projects that will never actually get off the ground. Still, I think the number of projects we have will only continue to grow. The fact that we're reviving Silent Hill was a secret until now, so we couldn't exactly go out and yell, hey everyone, bring us your Silent Hill projects. We can do that now. So if creators, you know, from around the world who love Silent Hill bring us their pitches, I promise to look through every one of them. We are all ears. So I just wanted to be sure to mention this as well, because I think this is actually very promising. Clearly, Konami is just truly embracing the Silent Hill IP. I don't think they're just going to give it out to anybody, but the fact that they're so interested in hearing different pitches, you know, this is great. You know, it'll be interesting to see how many other development teams with a ton of potential, you know, to deliver a great Silent Hill game can maybe get the opportunity to do so. So there you go. Big update on Silent Hill 2 Remake. That's going to do it for the video, though, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.